It's another day. You think. At least your eyes have opened again from another chunk of sleep that feels like it was enough for a night's worth of rest. This is getting tedious. I'm just a narrator. Well, as far as we both know, I'm just a narrator. Now get up. We're supposed to help Nichole clear out some of the lost items around the inn today. Alright, you can be that way. You're supposed to do it, and I will be present. Better? Good. Now once you're finished arguing with the voice in your head, you made your way out of your room and meandered toward the lobby. Stop sniggering, jerk. You enter the lobby, but it's rather silent. A good sign that Faye wasn't here yet. Though you did see Walter, per usual, standing behind the bar. He was putting together some sort of drink in his silence, which was different from the common sight of him endlessly cleaning one glass. You can't recall him ever making anything unless someone ordered it. When you entered the room further, you jump a little at the sight of a small figure seated in one of the Victorian chairs. One you didn't recognize. She was immersed in her book, something you were glad about as you tried to process what you were looking at. She was bundled up, with her legs tucked into the chair, making it even harder to notice her small shape, but the bright white of her, well, feathers is what originally captured your attention. She was covered in them, all down her wings instead of arms, and over the top of her head. At least what you could see over the edge of her book she was tucked into. The clean white of her feathers was marked with a deep royal blue, matching a flowing crest over her brow, and she was dressed in a refined pale blue robe, her fluffy clawed feet pressed against the backs of her legs, twitching a little as she read. Walter's approach drew both of your attentions, but when she lowered the book, she squeaked in surprise at seeing you, dropping her reading material to the floor at the same time, a sentiment you shared at noticing her face, which was completely avian. Owl, to be more accurate. Her feathers fluffed out and her bright orange eyes sparkled wide. Walter simply placed the drink he made down and walked back to the bar. No words spoken, as usual. I don't know. Why don't you ask her? She seems just frozen and terrified with you just staring at her, you know. Good start. I'm Olivia? She said, sounding like she wasn't sure. No, that is my name. I'm not used to seeing other people here. New people. I mean, it seems like for you, there's a new person every couple of days or so. How many regulars are there at this place? I guess that's a relative question, considering it's the epicenter of everything. Who are you? Yeah, you forgot to introduce yourself. You've been talking to me in your head. She thinks you're crazy. And you don't help that thought by babbling about the voice talking to you in your head. And now she looks concerned for her life. I need to go. You should probably just let her go. Your stammering isn't helping. I understand she's an owl person, and that's a little weird, but you're the one that's making her uncomfortable, and that's almost impressive. She starts slipping away back toward the basement. Who could have guessed? But you dip down and pick her book up before she can go. When you tell her she dropped her lavish in the moonlight, romance book of some sort. She quickly rushes back to you, snatching it back with the smooth edge of her wings like they were hands. Thank you, that's so sorry, that's mine. You can't see her skin below the feathers, but you can almost feel the heat of her blush and embarrassment. You gesture to the table, mentioning how she didn't drink her order from Walter. But she glances back to the door like it's an escape route. Just tell her the thing people say. You took off the wrong shoe or whatever. I don't know, it sounds right. This time introduce yourself like a sane person who doesn't remember their name. As you explain you showed up here with no memory of who you are, she seems to relax a little, but she still glanced around the room as if for confirmation. But the only other person here presently was Walter. Thankfully he's on your side, and just gives a curt nod as he mindlessly cleans his glass. This seems to pacify the woman long enough to stop fleeing. And just in time for backup as Nichole enters from the hallway. Her feline familiar strolled at her side like a passive shadow. Oh, Olivia! I see you met our new friend here. Spirits, I need to figure out what to call you. Yeah, I did. I was looking for some alone time. I'm sorry. It's okay. You know you're welcome here. I see you got the book Faye left for you. Oh, yeah. She quickly tucks her book into the folds of her robe for safekeeping, though I believe she just would like people to stop drawing attention to it. Yes, Nichole seems friendly with her. Why don't you ask? Oh, this is Olivia. She's a friend. How is my old master, Olivia? Is she still doing well? Well, she's all right as far as I know. It's been a while since I saw her myself. I see. I understand. Here, why don't you come with us? We're just gonna go clear out some of the new items around the inn so they don't pile up. No, I'm okay. You know, I don't really like going out there. It should be safe. Probably. For the most part. Maybe you should stay here. She said, concerning the other person in the room that already agreed to help. Hello? I know, that's crazy. No, it's all right. I promise. She added, not really helping. We just have to clear things out sometimes so no one gets hurt. Sometimes some dangerous stuff gets lost out there. Olivia, you know you're free to stay in here as long as you like. Thanks, and thank you for the drink, Walter. This owl woman seems acceptable to everyone else, but you still can't get over that weird feeling about seeing her. Maybe where you come from, there were no creatures like her. That is a point you bring up with Nichole as the two of you step out into the calm climate of the outdoors in this strange place. Really? Well, me and Faye have seen a few dimensions that don't have beast folk in them. There are some with just humans, some with a few various races, and some with many, but that does narrow it down some. Keep that in mind. Maybe make a note of it. It would be nice to make a list of things you remember, though for now, the only thing on it would be might have come from a dimension without beast folk. So, playing fast and loose with the term list. Did she say she's been to a few dimensions? Yes, of course. We are forced to travel to them sometimes to repair things. Nothing you need to worry about for now. Funny how that never stops you from worrying. Just take this basket and start collecting trip hazards, or anything that might be dangerous. We're just gonna move them out of the safety zone, she said as she handed you a large wicker basket, while at the same time, she swiped her hand in a smooth gesture, and from the roof came her broom. The thing made a smooth circle around her and then swooped low over the desert, to clear away the top layer of sand for her to follow. She plucked items from the sand, tossing them into her own basket that followed her with a slight blue glow. Her magic felt a little like cheating. You turned and walked the other way. Following suit, you picked up items, shaking them a little to see what it was you were pilfering from the sands. A random journal here, a set of keys there, a letter in a bottle, a dagger, all items people would lose rather easily. Though it still made you wonder how you ended up here with the rest of these lost things. And to an even greater degree, the cities in the distance. You were studying the horizon in thought for a few moments, seeing the way the ancient buildings crumbled and leaned with age and neglect. Distracted already? She made you jump a little. Nichole had wandered over to see what you were looking at, but her gentle features were smiling lightly as she studied your face. Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to imagine a city being lost enough to end up here. But those are ancient places, unfathomably old, lost in various ways. Natural disasters, war, sickness. I did go to see some of them before, but when you get over those mountains there, you can see that the ruins stretch as far as the eye can see. I can't spend that much time away from the inn, so I couldn't explore them all by any means. But what I did see was magical. The structures, though old and marred by time and other forces, were so full of history. You could feel the lives that once lived there, as if the place still had breath to breathe. A beautiful yet unnerving thought. It does make you curious about the places on the horizon. Perhaps someday you can see for yourself. Not soon, though. You don't even know about the fingers yet. Yes, the fingers. Perhaps now would be a good time to ask about that. I guess I should. It's just not my favorite topic. Alright, so the fingers. Oi, you two. We've got a situation in here. Of all the timing. Though you start to get upset, a few things cross your mind. Faye seems genuinely concerned about something. And also, there was a concerning problem inside the inn. What do you mean, a situation? Nichole asks as she walked off toward the inn. Now you only had more questions to add to the pile. Maybe you should make a list about that. You follow Nichole inside to see the visitor, Olivia, with her back pressed all the way against the wall opposite the basement door. Her feathered chest was heaving with shallow, panting breaths as she stood frozen, as if unsure what to do, her eyes locked on the basement door. What is going on?
There's a mirror in the basement again.
The voice coming from the cat made you flinch. That was one of the first things you've heard him say since you woke him up in the darkness. It feels like weeks ago now, though you aren't so sure how long it has actually been. A mirror again? Are you sure? You were so surprised by Shade speaking again that you forgot the thing they were so worried about was a mirror in the basement. Your question brings Nichole around to your existence again. Oh, right, sorry. The mirror. I just wanted to go home. Now how are we gonna tell who's real? I just wanted to get some time away from work. Why did I come here? Hey, it's going to be all right, Olivia. No, don't touch. You might not be you. The little owl lashes her wings out harmlessly to keep Faye at arm's length, and she simply stops, frowning a little. What did she mean by might not be you? This is gonna be confusing. The mirror is one of the many anomalies that we have to deal with from time to time. Usually it's not so bad because it's just me, Faye, and Walter, and Shade, of course. But we have a couple of extra people here, and the more we have, the harder it's going to be sure we are all who we say we are. and not a doppelganger. Doppelgangers. Like copies. Didn't we already have to deal with this in the darkness? Nichole nods at your question. Correct. The mirror is like an extension of the darkness. Like a fragment, left over from when it came before. It often plays tricks in order to get an upper hand. Unfortunately, we don't know how long the mirror has been here. Who was the last person in the basement? The group all look at one another, suspicion clouding the air, before all eyes land on Olivia. The woman's beak clicks sheepishly. Me? No. I'm me. I promise. It was Faye. She was the one that told you about the mirror, right? I only opened the door. As soon as I saw the mirror, I went to get Nikki, but I found Shade first. We can't know for sure.
We need to stay in one place. Don't let anyone go off on their own.
Shade is right. That way any doppelgangers are easier to spot and everyone is safer in a group. I don't know. I can't tell if anyone is different yet. Well, the easiest way to check for Olivia is to go back to her world and make sure she isn't there. But we can't separate. And going to another world is dangerous. We should save that for last if it's even necessary. What if you suggest splitting into groups?
Well, we don't know if there are multiple doppelgangers present.
Perhaps we can verify if some of us here are real and then split off into groups. That's true. Well, we know for sure our new friend here is safe. Wait, how does she know that you're the real you? Show us your hand. You pause, looking at the glove covering your shattered hand. You don't like looking at it. But, humoring Nichole, you peel the thing away to show the healing fragments of your fingers. Some spaces still show through completely, while others have pink, raw scars. They itch a little, but no pain. The mirror can only take information it's learned from the attached universes. This happened here, and they've never gone through another portal. So they must be real. Lucky for you, I guess. You slip the glove back on and glance over to the rest of the room as Nichole continues. And Walter never leaves either, and he's the only one allowed in the kitchen, and, so he's safe also. The seemingly arbitrary rule of Walter being the only one allowed in the kitchen seems a strange fact to rely on, but you trust Nichole enough to believe she knows what she's talking about, even though it seems like she was going to say something else. You start to realize she isn't saying anything about herself. We can't rule me out either. Me, Faye, Shade, and Olivia have all used a portal recently. So we'll split into 2 groups and make sure there's no one else here in the inn. You can go with Olivia and Faye, check the bedrooms and such down the hall. Walter, you, me, and Shade will check upstairs and elsewhere. Me? Can't I just stay here? A slight touch of fear concerns you as you pose a question. Don't worry, they won't hurt you, unless you see another one of you somehow. Their goal is to replace us one by one. We need to be quick, before the mirror musters up enough energy to make another. Now let's go. If you find someone else, bring them here. Knowing you and Walter were the only ones safe from being fake made you concerned, but it seems like now was one of those times you needed to step up and do what needed to be done. So you split off with your group, Faye walking neatly at your side, and Olivia half panicking at your back as you enter the hallway. No one speaks, so you make a suggestion to check each room, remembering to focus on your destination as you go so you don't walk for too long. Alright, that sounds good to me. Lead the way. As you open your door, you see the normal space. Taking a few steps in and looking around, you pause on a mirror that's always been there, but this time you take in your reflection with a sigh. Yep, it's still you, whoever you are. You alright? Not really the time for a mental rundown. Right, let's go. You turn to leave, and next is Faye's room. Approaching, you pause, hand hovering over the door handle. That was definitely Faye. Though when you look at the one next to you, she gives a concerned look, her brow pinched in thought as Olivia stammered, "There's someone in there." You don't wait any longer, so your fears can't convince you to stop. Pushing the door open, you see, well, Faye's room. She's lounging back in a beanbag chair, her room looking Victorian with random modern-looking furniture, or slightly less modern. Hey, kid, what the hell are you doing? Haven't you ever heard of knocking before? Her scolding stops sharply as she notices her mirror image looking back at her from the hallway. She groans, dropping a magazine she had been reading and pushing herself up from the low beanbag chair. In the future, world-ending events or not, still knock. What if I was naked or something? She makes her way toward you, but now you suddenly feel cornered, not knowing who was the real Faye. They both sounded like her, looked like her, and as they grew close, they both gave each other the same cold glare. This is what I get for trying to have a nice day in my room for a change. Can't have nice things. Well, this one talks like Faye, but the other one sort of seemed like her when there was something serious going on. I don't know for sure. Let's just go. Faye and Faye both stand behind you. Luckily, they're both wearing different clothes, or you couldn't tell them apart. Oh, hey, Liv, did you see that book I left for you? Don't talk to her. You'll confuse her. Oh, shut up. I want to know how my girl likes her spicy books I worked so hard to get. I should have gone with Server. Anything would have been better than this. Your group go to the end of the hall, checking other rooms as you find them, and lastly, checking Nichole's massive library, but you are sure to never leave the two Fays alone. They glare at one another constantly. Luckily, you find no one else, and soon make your way back to the lobby. Nichole is there, with Shade and Walter, and they have not added another like you have. Ah, there you are, and you did find one. Great. I don't blame them for making a knockoff of me, really. You mean a knockoff of me. Can't we just shove this one back into the mirror and get this over with? Where did you find the other one? You explain everything that happened, including what happened with Olivia, not sparing any details because, really, you didn't know what was pertinent information and what wasn't. Right. Okay, good, thanks. At least we didn't find any on our search.
But how should we determine which of these are the fake one? Perhaps we just push them through the mirror and be done with it.
Shut up, Cat. Hearing the two speak feels strange, but you echo his question. How do you tell for sure? Faye goes into the basement all the time, and you guess that has to do with going to other worlds, which makes sense, but you can't really process that right now. Instead, you focus on the situation at hand. What can we ask Faye that only the real one would know? I guess we can start with that. I call you kid. Maybe that one was a little too easy. The two of them answering at the same time was a little unnerving, but you sigh a little as you think of another question. What was something that happened that was just the two of you? Usually you are with someone else. Walter, silent Shade, or Nichole reading off to the side. Yeah, when the darkness was here, you were outside, alone. I guess there is no harm in asking. You pose your question, and one of the Fays smirks. while the other knits her brow in thought. The one you fetched from her room leans over, still smirking as she waits for the other to answer. What's the matter, knockoff? Don't remember? I do. No, of course I remember. I had to find them and bring them back inside while Nichole took care of the darkness. Close, but you forgot one important thing. They tried to punch me. What? Well, yes, of course, but nothing. Kid was all hung up on it afterwards, trying to get my secrets about how I'm so strong. They still ask me about it. Game over. You lose.
Oh, fuck! My nose!
The real Faye punches the other right in the nose, sending her stumbling back into a chair as she yells out. That was the answer you were looking for.
That works for me. Shall we?
Who said we were done? Nichole's cryptic words made you pause, feeling a little cold. What did she mean by that? There's still one more. Another one. Are you sure, Nikki? How can you tell? How can you be sure? Nichole smirks a little. A small air of... Is that mischief in her expression? As she looks down at Shade. You thought I wouldn't know my own familiar.
What? Nichole, what are you talking about?
The cat's hair stands on end, and he backs up a few paces. First off, you made the worst choice, picking Shade to copy. Sure, if he was just any cat, you might have got away with it. But Shade is my familiar. He is part of me. I can feel his spirit. Second, Shade left last night to go help Alphonse with something, and he let me know he wouldn't be back until at least 48 hours. Lastly, you talk far too much to be the real Shade. He would rather let others do the talking unless he really had something important to say.
Damn it.
Wait, so you knew about this since this morning, when I woke up to see Shade in the bed beside me. I woke up to the feel of his paws on the bed, but I could feel it wasn't really him. Though I thought it would be best to let him believe he had tricked me. What was the plan? Kill the real Shade when he got back? You're a cheap copy. You wouldn't be able to do it anyway. Come on, Faye. Let's get these two back to where they belong. Gladly. Unhand me!
Hey, let me go!
Nichole's a little scary. Yeah, she didn't even hint that something was wrong. She had us all fooled. There's so many sides to her. I don't understand. The two women start heading toward the basement as Olivia sinks to the ground, and you call out to remind Nichole of the avian. Don't worry. I just wanted to give the doppelgangers some false hope. They want to replace us regulars that live here, not the visitors. Sorry about that, Olivia. We can get you back home in just a little bit. Oh, thank the spirits. We'll be back, you know.
Yes, this isn't the end!
Would you please shut up, for fuck's sake? The fakes argue as they're pushed through the basement door, Nichole using her magic to keep them back as they start to become violent. Though at least you could easily tell which Faye was fake now, her nose being bloody and broken. Yes, perhaps we can sneak a peek. You step to the open basement door and look down. But you are met with the sight of you looking back. Partway down the stairwell was completely blocked by a reflective surface. The group you followed standing right in front of the barrier, before thrusting the two doppelgangers into the mirror. They fall in like water before Nichole swiftly shatters the barrier. Shards of mirror scattering down the stairs as she exhales. It's all right. Everything's fine now. Yes, I'm sure. Don't stress about it. We've done this a few times. And it's always more fun the next time. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to finish reading my magazine, and then... And then I guess I'll come clean this up. The two women come back up the stairs toward you, but you still want to look into the basement. Not yet. It's still dangerous and confusing down there, and I really don't want something to happen to you. I think this was enough excitement for one day. But soon I'll show you. I promise. Good move. Yeah, I guess we can talk about it. Can I go home now? Oh, yeah, of course. Go ahead, Olivia. Watch the shards, though. Sorry about that again, and tell Master I said hello. I will next time I see her. Right. Bye. The owl scurries by you and down the stairs, picking her way over the broken mirror pieces. But it's too dangerous for you to go down there. The two of you chat as you head outside again, passing Walter, who hadn't left his spot since he returned to the lobby. Poor Olivia. She doesn't really like a lot of action like that. Oh, right. So the basement, I'm sure you've picked up on it, is where all the openings, for lack of a better term, are at. It's the middle point, the convergence. We also call them portals. It's how we travel to other layers of reality and space. And it's how others come here. But if you don't know what you're dealing with, you can be shattered. Or worse. Besides, we don't know where you come from, and it could be worse for you if you end up somewhere you're not supposed to be. I'm still working on ways to help you. Right, Olivia. Well, she's actually very skilled in magic, and she's a friend to my master. Who could be her master? She taught me when I was young. Taught me a lot about magic and the world. So I call her my master, but she sort of hates that. But we both had different callings, so I ended up here, and she's got her own things going on. She seemed pained by the distance placed between her and her old teacher, though she puts on a brave face. It's okay. That was a long time ago anyway. I'm just glad she's still out and about doing stuff. Whatever it is. Now, should we continue? We've still got a while before Shade and Alphonse make it back. That's right. She said she sent Shade away with that informant Alphonse. For what? Nichole sighs a little as she rubs the back of her neck. Honestly, I was wondering if the two of them could find anything out there that might help you. The witch gestures toward the horizon, where the old cities crumbled. A long shot, but it's possible. I had to offer Alphonse a rather juicy piece of gossip I picked up about another witch to even get him to do it. Don't worry about it. It feels important, so... Anyway, still enjoying yourself here? Something new every day, it feels like. For you, anyway. Yeah, that's right. Can't ever say it's boring, at least. Now, here, let's get back to work. The basket of items is pressed back into your arms before Nichole walks back to her side, broom swooping in to follow her orders again, as you try to ground yourself. Well, you heard her. It seems these constant events are pretty common for her. This one, though very concerning to you, seemed almost like a normal day to Faye and Nichole. So I guess you shouldn't be so worried about it. Nichole hasn't steered us wrong before. Hey, by the way, that journal you found earlier, is it empty? Maybe you should take that. Make those notes she mentioned before. Things that seem weird or familiar. Things that you do and don't know. Hey, I'm not a computer. I can't just recall everything you do and don't know. Besides, it's just a nondescript journal. Not special. I don't think anyone is going to miss it. It'll do you some good anyway. All these thoughts in here. It's getting pretty crowded. No, I'm kidding. I don't have a physical presence at all. Don't overthink a lost one. Now let's get a move on with this chore.